Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast. Welcome back. I'm here with my main man, Highlight Real P. P, say what up.
What's going on, family?
And for our listeners, thank you for always vibing with us, always connecting with us, man. On this podcast, you already know where we leverage our love for sports while highlighting the journeys of sports fans, coaches, trainers, and current and former athletes. We just want to give all our athletes their flowers now. Your journey matters. P. We want the people to go ahead and follow us on the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast IG page. Follow us on Facebook, the Talk Your Ish Sports Podcast. Follow us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, and you can get all our content on our YouTube page, the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast YouTube page. P, man, let's get into it, man. Without further ado, from the Big East.
From the Big East.
Mount Vernon, born and bred, West Virginia Mountaineer hoop legend. We got Kevin Jones in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're good, man.
Good, bro.
We appreciate you, blessing the podcast, man.
Well,
appreciate y'all having me.
We're gonna jump right into it, man. Tell our listeners. I want you to describe where you grew up at and where your sports journey started.
Well, I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. I like to consider it the mecca of basketball, at least in Westchester County. It is just because of the lineage we had and the big names. Ben Gordon, number 3 overall pick in the NBA draft. We had guys like Mike Coburn, Jonathan Mitchell. The list goes on. And I'm just one part of that small culture. One small part of that culture. Excuse me. And man, I'm very proud to be where I'm from. It's only 4 square miles. We only had one high school, so you had to be dead nice to to make that team on any level, freshman, junior, varsity, because you had so much competition. There's no other.
You have to be a dog to make that team.
Exactly. Only dogs thrived in that environment. So I was happy to be one of them.
I can just imagine how y'all summer runs were.
Man.
Legendary, probably.
And so they would bring back the older guys during the summer. The older guys would make it their business to come down, give some knowledge to the younger dudes and also play and see who's the next up. So 8th grade, I got guys coming back that, juniors in college, and they putting you on the court, and you gotta ain't no little kid. Nah, you gotta you gonna sink or swim. You gonna sink or swim. So that's how it is.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
Oh man, so coming from Mount Vernon, coming from just a basketball-rich community, like why did you end up choosing basketball, and like when did you fall in love with the game?
To be honest, I want to say my brother chose it for me, but I was always taller than everybody around me. Okay. So I was never really into sports. I was kind of a mama's boy, to tell you the truth. Under my mom and everything. And my brother was like, he played college football. So he was a D1 athlete and all that. He was like, yo, you tall, you kind of athletically built. So you need to at least try a sport. And see if you don't like it, then it is what it is. So he ended up sending me to a camp, 5-star basketball camp, which at the time I had no idea about basketball, but it was one of the top basketball camps in the country for like developing players. So I go there. I never picked up a basketball in my life. I'm totally out of place right now. But I always had an eye for shooting the basketball. No matter what.
Yeah, how old were you at the time?
I would say about 10, 11.
Okay. How tall were you?
6 foot.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was out here.
About 5. About a 5'11", 6 foot.
He was out here.
If you would have seen me, you'd have probably thought I was like 15, probably or something.
Bro, you were an average man.
Yeah, it was
at the age of 10 years old.
Yeah, there was like, yo, who is this grown man in elementary school?
Who's kids? Daddy in here in first grade?
Yo, we need a birth certificate.
Yeah, for real. But so if I couldn't do anything else, I could always shoot, man. So that was where it started. And then and once I went there, man, it just kind of changed my life. And I liked the game. I loved the game of basketball. I became obsessed with it. So he would take me 6 a.m. practices everywhere, man. Like he's like, yo, if this is what you're gonna do, you gotta go hard and you gotta try to be the best at it. So that was my whole mindset growing up. So that's kind of how that started.
That's lit. That's lit. That's lit. Yeah, like so, I mean, you were the oldest, right? Or the youngest?
No, I'm the youngest by far, like the youngest. Yeah, my mom had
So,
me
like,
kind
what
of
was the
older.
battle between y'all? Like, who would win?
It was he got me for it. I didn't win my first game against my brother until I was probably 15, 16, maybe.
He held you
Yeah,
down.
he wasn't one of those like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a sympathy win. Nah, you gotta earn this
made you
win.
earn it.
And he brolic football dude. So he bullying me.
Ma, he out here following me.
Yeah,
he out here following me, Ma.
Yep. No crying, no nothing, man. You gotta earn this win.
You gotta earn it.
When I finally did, I threw the ball out the park and started running around. You'd have thought I won a championship when I beat him.
Those moments is ill.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So tell us about your high school career and how you dominated your junior year, because your junior year, because you said at 10 you started playing basketball. So now you're developing your skills going into high school. Your junior year, your numbers was ridiculous. I'm looking at it right now. You was averaging 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Then you stepped it up a notch your senior year, averaging 23 points, 14 rebounds with 2 blocks. And then you got 2 chips in 06 and 07. Like tell us about that domination, man. From you not wanting to play basketball, and then you going to the camp to you just dominated. And not even this is basketball in New York when you was playing dogs.
Yeah, so that was kind of crazy. I would say I was a late bloomer, because a lot of these guys, they was playing basketball since they was in third grade, third grade. So I was a little bit of an unknown coming into high school. I mean, people around the area knew I could play. They seen me play, but as far as the basketball world outside of New York, and well, even spread into New York City and into other different parts of the country, nobody really knew who I was. And then so playing for Mount Vernon High School, that's a powerhouse program throughout the country. Right. So you're automatically going to get noticed whether you're a scrub or not. More times than not, you're not going to be a scrub to make that team. So they're going to know, oh, yo, this kid got some kind of talent. So I think where I really took off at is when I started playing AAU. I had no idea about AAU before going into high school. Like I had no idea. And the talent I seen out there, you get to see people outside of where you live. And I'm like, yo, I don't, it kind of took me back. Like, I'm like, yo, I just kind of started and they out here dunking. And I'm like tapping glass right now. So I don't know how this is gonna work. I gotta develop quick. But yeah, man. So that put me in a whole different bag as well. And competition breeds success, I think. So being around other people who are on that same type of time trying to get better, it helped me get better. And throughout the years in high school, we had kind of like I would say a order, the seniors would go and then you would have somebody else step up. So my junior and senior year, when my numbers came up, that's when guys started leaving, and it was like, okay, it's kind of Kev, it's like your turn. So I took that personally and was like, yo, I got to do something with it. And I just started taking off from there.
I mean, you damn sure did with those numbers, man.
Yeah, man.
But let us know, like, your experience. You spoke about AAU, so talk about your experience in AAU. Who were the notable players that you played with and against during your AAU time?
Man, I played against so many players. So starting by who I played with, I played for a team, Westchester Hawks. And what was so special?
Shout out to the Hawks.
Yes, shout out to Westchester Hawks. And yeah, man. So what's so special about our team is we weren't sponsored by anybody. A lot of guys were like, a lot of teams were Jordan, Adidas, Nike brand. We weren't sponsored by anybody. So the good part about that is we could go to any tournament we wanted to and play against anybody we wanted to. When other teams that were affiliated with somebody, they had to stay in those, they could only play in those tournaments. So we got to play everybody. So I had Mookie Jones, he went to Syracuse. I had Tyshawn Taylor, he went to Kansas. He actually spent some time in the league. Sean Kilpatrick went to Cincinnati, I think second all-time leading scorer or first all-time leading scorer in Cincinnati history, behind Oscar Robertson, or he might have the record. So
and he played. Did he play with the Knicks?
Yeah, exactly. He spent some time in the league as well. So we had pros on our team, and we playing against everybody. We playing against the likes of Tyreek Evans, who else? Drew Holiday, Greg Monroe, like these guys. Yeah, these, and and we winning. And we just kind of coming out of nowhere and just taking the AAU circuit by storm. So like I said, just having those type of talent on my team, you got to raise your level to even keep up.
Right.
I think that helped me a lot too.
Did that help you in your like recruiting process? Like where you like you and your teammates like, yo, like what if we all went here together? Like how'd you guys like approach that part? Like, okay, like we're dominating, like we know we can play on the college level. Now we're getting these looks. Like what was that like the recruiting process like for you?
Well, for me, like I said, playing at Mount Vernon, you're already gonna get noticed, but it was more noticed when I started playing AAU, just because we going around everywhere and you got all these college coaches at all these tournaments, and we're killing. So for me, the process might have been different than some of the other guys. I always had my brother, and like I said, he was a D1 athlete, so he would kind of overlook the process for me so I could just focus on basketball. I didn't really have to worry much about that until it was time to make. Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Big Bro.
That's dope.
For sure. So I always had him in my life. So he kind of eased that pressure off of me so I could just go out, be a kid, play ball, and have fun. So the recruiting process for me wasn't as stressful as it might have been for other people who didn't have that figure in their life.
That's lit. We always need a good big bro. Shout out to my big bros.
Facts.
So why West Virginia?
A lot of it was Coach Huggins. He is good at guys my position. I guess people would consider them tweeners, somewhere between like a 3 and a 4. He has a good track record of getting pros. He had Kenyon Martin, Jason Maxill, guys like that, and from Cincinnati. So with that background, I was just like, man, I think that he could make me a pro. And at that time, I had coaches coming to my house and everything and going on recruiting visits, and he just always kept it real. And that's what stuck out to me. He was like, listen, I'm not going to promise you anything, but if you come in here and you play hard and you do what you're supposed to do, like you will be a pro pretty much. And like you will play for money someday. So I was like, yo, that's all I needed to hear. I don't need anybody to promise me anything, because nobody can promise anything. Like every year somebody else comes in and, you can't do that. So that's the type of stuff I looked out for, and what I had respect for him for.
That's lit. That's lit. Like was he at the crib? Like was he pulling up?
He pulled up to the crib.
Nah,
y'all don't know about Coach Huggins is you know what I mean? Like he one of them guys, like he ain't scared of nothing. So
he didn't send the recruit, the assistant recruit. He pulled up himself.
He pulled up. I mean, with one of the assistant coaches, but he pulled up himself and sat on my couch and talked to me and my mom and my family. So I respected that off rip. And then I mean, he wasn't the only one to do that, but that kind of stood out to me that, he was comfortable in that kind of environment, because you have to be when you're dealing with players. If you're going to recruit players from that kind of environment, I need to know that you comfortable in that environment as well, So exactly.
Facts.
So that stood out.
Just in general, I love hearing about the recruiting process. I mean, when after I watched Blue Chips back in the day, that's one of my favorite movies. So I'm always asking people like, what's the recruiting process like?
I ain't do that way. I ain't have that kind of a process. But, I mean, I wish.
CAA,
but
my guy's clean. My guy Ken Jones is clean. I mean, he did it the right way. But nah, man, because I always just thought about like when you think of like the likes of like the Calipari's and just like all the legendary coaches, the Dean Smiths, man, to like to understand and like know like, yo, they have to go get these players. You have to go get the best of the best. I mean, you have to, understand, like where people come from in order to like build a understanding on how to build a winning culture of diverse athletes from all over. Because you guys are chasing like the epitome of one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest championships, in all of sports. So like, I think it speaks volumes to like exactly how programs, like as we know them, like the blue chip programs, like the Blue Bloods or whatever, continue to like build this culture, like this train of great basketball. Right. So it's just like, trying to understand, like, all right, what were they saying to y'all in the living room? You know what I mean? Like what kind of conversations were you having? Because we just think that's important, because we got to teach the younger guys, like, yo, this is what you should expect. If there are like some like old sayings that a lot of coaches say just to say to get you, but like we're just gonna continue to share this information.
Yeah, well, for I can't speak on everybody's process, but for me, because everybody's different, everybody's on different levels, and I was a top 50 player in the country, like on the like McDonald's. Yeah.
Talk your shit.
Yeah, I was a top 50 player in the country.
Top 50.
You know what I mean? So I was on that cusp of like McDonald's All-American and all that stuff. But I wouldn't say I wasn't like a blue chip recruit. So I was like right in the middle. I was right in the middle there. So my conversation probably is not the same as a top 10 recruit coming in. Those conversations might be a little bit differently. But for what I looked out for, me personally, I didn't want anybody to promise me anything, because I know that you can't keep that promise. Because there's a new crop of talent coming in every year. So there's no way that you could say, oh yeah, you come here, you're going to be starting all 4 years, you're going to get this amount of time X. So I'm always weary of that. And then also the coach getting to know you more as a person than a player, because that's important for me too, because if they know you as a person, they can better be able to coach you. They know your likes and dislikes. They know what motivates you. They know what gets you off your game. You get what I'm saying? So they're better equipped to coach you. So that's always what I look for, is the more personal relationships than just the basketball side.
Lit.
Dope.
Ooh.
That's dope, man. You only get this here at Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast, man.
You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Yeah.
I want you to explain to our listeners that are just watching the watered down Big East. I want you to talk to them how it was playing in the old Big East. Go into deep, because I know there was wars.
I think my last year, 2012, when I graduated, I think that was the last legit year of the Big East, because then everybody kind of started splitting up. I think you had Syracuse and
they went to the ACC.
They went to ACC, and then and we went to the Big 12, and other teams went some other places. So this is like a makeshift Big East that's going on right now. But when I was there, you couldn't take a night off at all. You had guys like Hashim Thabit, DeJuan Blair, Jeff Adrian. You had guys from Pittsburgh.
They were tough.
They were always tough. Pittsburgh.
Jeff Adrian is actually from out here. He went to Brookline.
Okay.
He's from out here.
Okay, yeah. See, that's wars with those dudes, and these are huge. Like, these are huge people, and I'm coming in. I'm 205, maybe 215, something wet, and I gotta guard these dudes on the block. So it wasn't no nights off. Wasn't nothing. You had to learn quick, especially as a freshman, man. You was gonna get your mouth busted. Everything was gonna happen, but it was gonna make you tougher ultimately. So that's the best era of basketball to me. When I was in the Big East from 2012, we had, on any given year, we had at least half the conference ranked.
Right. Yeah.
We had 16 teams in the conference, so that's at least 7 to 8 teams ranked on any given year.
Your UConn, your Syracuse, Georgetown, West Virginia,
Cincinnati,
Cincinnati, St. John's. They
Seton Hall. You know what I mean? That was deep.
And these teams on any other league, they're gonna be third or fourth, and they're gonna be top half in the league. It's just that you got so many teams. That's nice. Somebody got to be bad. So you know what I mean. Somebody got to lose. That's all that was.
So all right. So I need 2 examples, man, because this is important. Bring us into a timeout with Bob when you guys are fucking up, like you're not running the plays, you're not hustling. Bring us into one of those moments, and then bring me into one of the huddles where y'all are really out there, really high, executing at a high level. He's like, all right, y'all do y'all thing.
Yeah, I think they're both the same because he's still yelling at us no matter what. No matter like with him, you're always on guard. Like you're never relaxed around him when you're playing. And it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but it's like so much anxiety is like, what you got so many players behind you that if you mess up one time, it's over. Like you might come out. So everybody playing like their life depends on it. And that was the culture there, because it was next man up. And if you're not doing your job, somebody else gonna do your job. So man, I can't even say everything he said if we messing up. Like I can't even. I don't even want to say those words on here.
Okay.
Like, just know you getting an earful. You getting called all types of names you probably never got called in your life. You're gonna feel real disrespected for sure. But you just learn to block it out and hear the actual message of what he's trying to say to you. And that's over time. That's what I got to learn, is just like try not to take things as personal, which is hard in the moment, but then try to sit back and listen to what he's actually trying to say. And what he's trying to say, he's not doing this just to do it. He's doing it to try to push a button and motivate you.
Right.
So,
and I think that's what separates the average coaches from the legendary coaches. Like their mood never changes, whether they're winning or they're losing. They're still at that same level. Like if they're always on 10, they're gonna remain on 10, whether they're losing or winning, up 50 or down. Like 30, whatever. They're still at that same 10, and that's, I think, what separates an average coach from a legendary coach. And that's why I think Bob Huggins is still out there, doing his thing, man.
That's a fact.
And like, do you feel like his coaching style has prepared you like to be a professional, like to be, just like on how to conduct business every day?
Oh, no doubt. Not only him, but my coach from high school too, Coach Bob Semino. Both of them were.
Shout out to Coach Semino.
Shout out to Coach Semino, man. Because he's the one that got me started on that journey, and then Bob Huggins just kind of took it from there and kind of elevated it. But they were both disciplinarians. Didn't take much shit. I mean, can I curse on here?
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, all right, bet. Yeah.
Podcast, man.
All right, bet. Yeah. So he ain't take much shit. So you learn to be disciplined, and just always taught me to be ready for any situation. And two people who held you accountable. Like if you did something wrong, like be a man, admit to what you did, and try and be better next time. So they always held you accountable. So that definitely put me in a different mindset for life. Like that's just a life lesson as well.
Bro, that's real life shit right there.
Word. And just to always work hard for what you want.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's lit. So this point in your career, you're playing in the old Big East, like now you're a senior. Like the draft process and like thinking about what's next for your professional career. Like how is this going to play out for you? Like what was your thought process that year? Like what was your thought processes in terms of, and like once the season was done, how'd you go about like, all right, next steps, agent, draft, workouts, get my body in the best shape, mentally, physically, and like just get ready for this grind? Like how'd you approach all that?
Well, my junior year was the first time I decided to test the waters going into my junior year, because I had a great sophomore year, and that was the year we won the Big East tournament. We went to the Final Four. So I was thinking about maybe even leaving after that year. So I wanted to go and get some workouts in and kind of get evaluated. Yep. So I didn't think my evaluation was good enough to get to that level where I wanted to be. So I decided to come back to school.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
No, exactly. What's the worst that could happen, right?
What y'all think? You think I'm worth? Not.
Exactly.
Just let me know.
Cool.
Just let me
know. I'll come back later. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. Hey, always shoot your shot, player. Always shoot that shot.
Exactly. That's a fact. So when I came back, it's probably the best thing I could do as far as my development as a player and also as a man too. Because there's the playing aspect when it comes to being a pro, and then there's also the outside aspect, which you have to grow up quick as well. So you got these guys, you got these 18-year-olds that's making all these millions of dollars, but people don't realize that they're still 18, 19 years old. They're still going through life. They're still going to mess up and do stupid stuff if they don't have the right people in their corner.
Right.
So luckily I had the right people in my corner. And when I came back, I led the Big East my senior year. I led the Big East in points and rebounds. I'm only like the third player in Big East history to do that.
Talk your shit. Putting up numbers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Putting up numbers against some of y'all's favorites. You know what I mean?
Man.
You know what I mean? Putting out here, locking cash down, putting up real shots, real work out there.
Yeah.
You already know what it is.
So that was a historical moment for me, just being an All-American and All Big East player. And that, I think that prepared me too, where I was able to mature more and kind of feel comfortable in my game. Cause there was times that I wanted to do stuff that I felt maybe might've been outside my game. People, you know, you got people in your ear. Well, you should do this to be a better pro. And for all the kids, I don't want to say kids, for all the players out here listening, like, don't try to let people make you be something that you're not. Like, do what got you there, because a lot of times guys try to do, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with getting better and expanding your game, but at the same time, do what got you there. Be the player that put you at this point, and you'll be fine. So as far as the draft process, I found my agent. It was a guy that my brother knew, and I had been talking to, but not on the agent side. He just, you know, he would come around sometimes with my brother, so I felt he was a trustworthy guy. And I've actually had the same agent since college. Like, I don't believe in just going from agent to agent. Like, if I find one person that I feel gets the job done, I like to stick with that person. Yeah, so I got with my agent. You know, he put me in a good situation. Unfortunately, I didn't end up getting drafted. I ended up going undrafted, but then I did summer league and I did training camp with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay. I didn't make the team right out of training camp, but I did make it all the way to the last cut, and I ended up going to play for their D League affiliate, which is a Canton Charge.
So tell us about that. Like, tell us about, I mean, you get to training camp. Tell us what's going on. Like, how intense is it? Like, I mean, like, you're around some all NBA, like all rookie, like you're around some guys who can really get after it and like who are going to make millions of dollars on the second contract. So like when you got there, tell us about like the day-to-day, the practices, like tell us how it went.
So you get there a couple of days before training camp, you know, just to get settled in and I guess meet everybody and play, you know, they're going to play some pickup or whatever, just get used to the setting environment. And at the time, Coach Byron Scott was there. So he was notorious for his training camps. His training camps was probably one of the hardest in the league. And because he learned under Pat Riley, and Pat Riley was the same way. So coming from Coach Huggins, like I wasn't afraid of anything, like no hard work. I feel like I seen it all at that point. But just being around guys like NBA guys making millions of dollars. I'm around Kyrie Irving, Tristan Thompson, Deion Waiters was coming in that year, Tyler Zeller, him and Tyler Zeller were the rookies on that team. It was just, you realize like this ain't college no more. Everybody is dead nice. Like there's no, you know what I mean? There's no easy pickup. There's no easy guards. So it was, I can't lie and say I wasn't nervous. I was nervous to see how I stacked up against those people, but I just went out, did me, and I stacked up well against them. And that's where I got the confidence, like, yeah, I belong in this league.
So I got hold on. You know what I mean? I got I'm saying you said something that was really interesting. You said there was no easy guards. But I mean, it sounds like you had some success in camp. I mean, you made it to the last spot. Yeah. So who was you giving work to? I mean, I got to know, who was you giving some smoke to out there?
Hey,
I mean,
anybody, I ain't gonna name no names personally.
Nah. We need names, bro.
Just any right now. I think he plays for the Celtics right now.
Huh?
He plays for the Celtics for Tristan Thompson.
Hey, listen. Whoever was in front of me, I was trying to go out and kill. That's my mindset.
He was going up with it.
That's my mindset. I had to. I wasn't drafted. I wasn't afforded that luxury to just not go hard every play.
Right.
I was the only way I was gonna stick. So anybody who, you know what I mean, whether it be rebounding, like guarding whoever I had to guard, I'm gonna do that because that's a position I'm in.
Right. Wow.
Thompson, man, I know you're somewhere in Boston right now, man. We know who's giving you work, bro.
Oh man, like I mean, so you're like, tell us like what position you'll be playing in the league now, because I mean the league is pretty much made up of positionless basketball. So like, how are you playing right now, and like who'd you look to like to mold your game after, and like how what is your game now?
Well, first question, what would I be playing in the league? What position? I would say four. I mean, I think I would probably be an undersized four, but I would be a pick and pop kind of guy, rebound, like do a little bit of everything. Like I pride myself on being able to play all parts of the game, whether it be offense, defense, play multiple positions if I have to. That's just what I pride myself on. And then who I molded my game after, my favorite player is Kevin Garnett.
KG.
KG, the big ticket. Like that's always he's part of the reason I wear number 5.
Okay.
Now, yeah, he wore number 5 on the Celtics. So like ever since then, I started wearing number 5, and just his passion for the game, his high skill level. I try to mold. Obviously, I'm not as tall as he is, but just like certain moves, trying to steal certain moves from him, and you do that. Like all the greats steal something from somebody.
Right.
Yeah, so you draw inspiration from somebody. So he was kind of like my inspiration. Him, and also Tim Duncan as well.
Yeah,
like they were total opposite, but both beasts in their own way. Right. So yeah, like those were my two go-tos right there.
Literally. Man, like
you only get this exclusive here, man. I Talk Your Shit Sport podcast, man.
Let's get it, y'all. Y'all already know what it is.
We got a hoop legend right here, man, in front of us right now. You spent time in the G League?
Yeah, well, it was the D League when I was there. So yeah, the D League.
So how was that experience?
It was great, man. Like I said, I played for the affiliate of the Cavs, which is the Canton Charge. So Canton was about an hour drive away from Cleveland.
Okay.
So and most of the guys that I played with on training camp who also didn't make it, they ended up playing on the D League team as well. So it wasn't like I was going to a situation I was totally unfamiliar with. And so it felt right. And then also Canton is only 3-hour drive from West Virginia. So if I wanted to go home, I could go, you know what I mean? If I wanted to go back and chill at the crib, if we got a couple of days off, I could just go back easily. So it all just kind of worked out, and I was comfortable. And the first couple games, killing, I think I averaged maybe like 25 and like 12, 13, something like that. The first couple games.
Walking double.
Huh?
Walking double.
Yeah, that's always been my thing is double doubles. That's that's always been my thing. But yeah, so after those first couple games, Cleveland calls me up for the rest of the season. I signed a contract, and that was the highlight of my career. Like all that hard work I put in was for that moment to sign that contract for the rest of the year. So man, like it was a dream come true, especially the way I had to get it.
So how'd you celebrate? Like when that moment you had the pen in your hand, you saw it was right in front of you, it was like, damn, Cleveland Cavaliers, signature, sign here. Like, what was that like? Like that moment, and then that night. Like, what happened? I know it went up.
Actually, it didn't, because so that when I found out, I was actually in Canton, because like I said, it's an hour drive away from each other. So I think I had a game that night in Canton. But so how it worked was, whenever I didn't play with the Cavs, they would send me down if Canton had a game to play with them, just to get some run and keep me sharp or whatever like that. So I would go back and forth. So I was playing in Canton, and I heard the news, and I had to drive all the way up to Cleveland to sign the contract and then play in the game afterwards. So my mind is all over the place. I'm like, yo, I just signed here, but I'm still playing here.
Right.
So I felt great, obviously, with signing the contract, but at the same time, like, damn, I still got
the hoop.
Basket. Yeah, I got
the focus.
So yeah. I mean, eventually I turned up and, celebrated it, but at that time I couldn't. But it was just a feeling. I didn't even need no big celebration. Just a feeling I had was enough for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I got here.
Exactly. I'm here now, finally.
Yeah.
I gotta stay here now.
Right. So from Mount Vernon, bro, like from Mount Vernon, like home, I mean, to Cleveland, to, I mean, West Virginia, I mean, now, I mean, Japan, right? I mean, so like, tell us about like the game of basketball is taking you all over the world, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, it has. And just to think that I've been around the world playing basketball, I would have never thought, because I'm not one of those travel kind of guys. So I'm not used to like going around and seeing certain places. I'd rather just be back at the crib chilling. I'm close-knit, very close-knit family. So just chilling with them. So being out of the country for months, like almost a year at a time, that was a big adjustment. Not only the style of basketball, just being away from what's familiar to you. Like that's the biggest adjustment of all. And that's what most people, they struggle with when they first come overseas. And I struggle with is being away from what's familiar to you. And so I've been playing overseas for about, I want to say 6-7 years now. So each year it never gets 100% easy, but each year it gets easier. You start learning new things, and yeah, man, you're appreciative about how far you came. You see them stamps on your passport. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
Oh man, that's so. How many seasons have you been playing in Japan?
So this is my third season in Japan. This is my second season on this team. And then 2 years before I was playing in Okinawa, Japan. So I'm right now I'm in Tokyo.
Lit. So how was it trying to learn the language and like what's the style of basketball over there?
So this is a growing league. The league actually is pretty young. It just started about 5 years ago. They had different versions of the league, but this is the main one that's we're playing in right now. This is like the biggest of them all. So the style of basketball, at least on my team, we have a pretty good team. We got a couple national team players, so they're very experienced and talented. So for me, it was like I don't like going on teams where I feel like I have to do everything. You know, so on this team I don't feel like that because I'm playing with other talented players. And yeah, man, so it's been great. And yeah, I enjoy Japan as a culture in general. The food, the people, everybody's so relaxed and chill, and that's my kind of vibe.
All over the world, P.
Man,
just off of dribbling the basketball, bro. That's beautiful.
It's bigger than basketball. Yeah, I mean, it's a game. So yeah, I mean, this just amazing, college career. I mean, I want to get your opinion on like what do you think about the one and dones and like what's the culture of basketball now on the college level?
Yeah, I think you should do what's best for you. And if that's the best decision for you and your family is to go out after 1 year, then by all means follow that. I think sometimes people get misled or get a lot of misinformation, which forces them to make a decision that they may not want to make, or they feel like they're not ready to make, but they're trying to please other people. So how I feel about the one and done, man, if you're talented and you want to make a living for yourself, I feel like you should be able to. I feel like you should still come. You should come out of high school if you feel like you're on that level. That's just my opinion on it. Like you shouldn't stop somebody from trying to make a living just because you feel like they're too young or whatever the reason may be. Like you should allow everybody should be allowed to make a living for themselves if they have the talent to do it. So that's how I feel about that.
That's got families, got mouths to feed.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I want you to stay on that note, but also add on how important it is to have a strong circle around you, like you have. I mean, because I feel like you just said, a lot of kids get misled. You can go to the NBA, you can, your first round lottery pick, but these are just probably, agents and all these other people trying to get in their ear just to, get that check. But how important is to have a strong circle around you outside of the court?
I think that's the most important thing, man. You got to have people who are going to keep it real with you, whether you like it or not. Right. And that's one thing that I had that I'm so thankful for is like, my family was the realest ones. Like they didn't care about hurting my feelings at all. Like they'd tell me like, nah, you fucking up. Like you messing up right now. You need to do better. You know what I mean? So I always knew where I stood, and I never had no false sense of security. Like I always knew where I was as a person, and I try to stay grounded. They keep me grounded, and you got to have that, man. Because especially if you go into that next level, you making all these millions of dollars, you're gonna have people coming around you. They don't have your best intentions. Right. So you gotta try to weed those people out and keep a strong circle of people who are gonna keep it real with you.
Super lit. Facts.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about a lot of the top recruits now? I mean, going to HBCUs and like how big and important is like that shift, like to put the light on those schools and really raise those that level of competition, amongst our schools.
I think it's dope, man. I think it's a dope concept. The way that the perennial, like the blue blood schools, you would say, like the Dukes, the North Carolinas, that's how they got their way, was getting high major recruits and building that legacy. So I feel like if we do the same thing, it's no way we can't be mentioned amongst those ranks. But I also do think, I also have to be realistic as well, that those schools have been in power for so long, it's going to be hard to snatch those, it's been ingrained in people in so long. Like these are the places you go if you want to play high level basketball. But I do see the shift, and I like the shift, and you're going to get some guys that want to go to HBCU just off the strength of like, yo, like I want to do something different. Right. And I respect that.
No, that's dope, man. Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's definitely gonna be hard for like those blue bloods to relinquish their their titles on them, because you look at West Virginia, like let's say you're the number one recruit in the country is from West Virginia. It's hard for that number one recruit to say no to West Virginia, knowing that West Virginia is all he knew. Because I remember I went down there, Morgantown. You guys were gods. Yeah. Like that town down there were gods. We went down there for Midnight Madness, bro. Like the guy in motherfucking McDonald's new cab gave him free food and shit like that. I'm like, oh shit. We went to the club. We got in front of the line. Kev was like, I'm here. He's like, oh, I'm here too. Dead ass. It was like a movie, bro. But it's hard when you get that treatment in one town and you growing up and that's a culture that you see. It's hard to say, now I'm gonna go to HBCU when I have this treatment right in front of me.
Yeah, it is, man. And like I said, I salute the kids who look past that and look into what's the deeper sense of what going to a HBCU could do and how it could put you on the map. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna go to the top schools, the top players, but if you're a top player, you're gonna get found. If you got talent, you're gonna get found wherever it might be a little harder, but you're gonna get found if you got talent. Look at the Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum's go to these schools. He went to Weber State. CJ McCollum went to Lehigh. They're gonna get found no matter where you are if you have the talent. So
that's ill. Oh man. So I mean, I want to pivot. Real quick. So now, because I'm a big Rondo fan, so seeing him get traded, to the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi now have someone to lean on rather than them trying to, battle between each other. Are they a real threat to LeBron and them right now?
Oh, for sure. They just haven't proven it in the playoffs yet. And I think last season was different circumstances. I can't comfortably say that the Lakers win the title if they weren't in the bubble.
Wow.
And that has nothing to do with the Lakers. Not saying the Lakers wouldn't don't have the talent.
I want to get into this. I want to get into this. Yeah. All
right. So listen, because I had this conversation with a lot of people. So a lot of teams quit on the bubble, and here's where LeBron earned my respect even more than he had already, is that he made sure him or his team focused on the goal at hand. Just because we in a bubble, we gonna do what we got to do for this time, and it paid off. The hard work paid off. The discipline paid off. So I give LeBron total credit for that. But at the same time, I also feel like if a lot of other teams were 100% in, where I don't think the Clippers were 100% in, a lot of the teams, they was like, yo, we can't do this bubble stuff no more. I just don't want to do it. And that's what I'm saying. When I say that, it's not a slight to LeBron and the Lakers, they couldn't have done it. But I think things might have been I could have been wrong. Things might not be. Yeah. But I think it might, in my opinion, it might have been a little bit different if it wasn't no bubble and they continue with the rest of the season. You a Lakers fan, I'm guessing?
I mean,
No.
I'm a champ.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm a champ.
Oh, all
You know
right,
what
all
I
right.
mean?
Hey,
I'm
I'm
a
not.
champ.
Hey, listen, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
So yeah, I definitely want to get into this on folks quitting on the bubble, but I mean, I just have a different argument because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, when you played AAU, high school ball, or whatever, like you would go somewhere for a weekend or a week. You'll be at the hotel, gym, hotel, gym, hotel. So I mean, you guys, the AAU circuit is pretty much geared to keeping you guys in the basketball bubble. You know, like wherever you go. So, and especially when you get to, especially when you get to a D1 school, now like you got your own dorms, like you guys have just a singular focus on the game. You're in a bubble. So why is it that this wasn't a basketball player's dream, was to get away from the distractions, you know what I mean, family, girlfriends, you know what I mean, but like wherever, like tell me why this wasn't the perfect place for a real basketball genuinely like lover of the game, historian of the game, someone who like passionately loves this game, couldn't go in there and do what they do, locked in, nothing else to worry about for just 3 months. You can't do that. Come on. Come on.
And before I say what I say, I'm gonna say that's a great point. Like that, and that's why I give LeBron 100% credit, because he was able to do that, and not only do that, but get his team to focus like that.
Yeah.
But also what I'm going to say is, going back to the point I made earlier, when you take somebody away from something they know and something somebody's usual routine, like that's an adjustment. Like, and this, when you say to the AAU point, I get what you're saying about hotel coming back, but these dudes can't go nowhere. They're in, like, they can't go and
nobody there.
They can't see nobody. You only seeing your teammates. At least when we was on AAU, we could go to the store, we could walk around, we could do other stuff. We're interacting with other people. All you got is your teammates. And I agree, like, you as a professional player, you should be able to be disciplined enough to go in there, do what you got to do. And that should be it. There should be no excuses. But at the same time, we can't ignore the fact that these dudes, like, you taking dudes out of their element, and some you either gonna sink or swim, like I said. And a lot of dudes sank. And that's not LeBron's, that's not LeBron's fault. And that's why I say I take nothing away from LeBron. But I also had to admit, I don't know if it would be the same if everything was the same.
I get it. I get it. No, for sure.
I agree on that point. But I mean, that separates like I said before with Bob Huggins, the average players to like the superstars. That's why LeBron, and I'm not even a LeBron fan. I'm not even a LeBron fan. I'm a Carmelo guy, you know.
Okay.
And but that's why LeBron's where he's at right now, man. And that's, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. My man locked in. Like, I think him and Dame were really locked in the bubble. They went to, you know, they definitely went to work. And Jimmy Butler did his thing in the bubble too. But
I think Kawhi was locked in. But he was like the
only one.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And didn't he get in trouble? Montrez he went, you know,
Lemon Pepper Lou.
Yeah, he went out.
He had his grandmother passed away or something like that.
So it's just, they had a lot of circumstances they had to deal with. So I'm interested, but also on the Lakers side, where I'm going to defend them at as well, they were the number 1 seed. They didn't have any home games for the playoffs, which is, you know, home games are a big thing, especially when it comes to playoff time. They're very important.
It was all in the away games, all away games.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say away games. They were neutral. It was a neutral game. There was no fan for either one. But like they didn't get that advantage that they earned. They earned that throughout the season. So that was something that you could put in their side too. Like, well, you know what I mean? We're supposed to have number 1 seed overall. We're supposed to be home all these playoff games, and we didn't get that. So you know, you could say something for everybody.
Right. So right now, I mean, a lot of teams are starting to clinch their spots for the playoffs, man. Right now, who are you watching that's playing really good basketball right now? And like, who you think is going to like who's going to turn up in the playoffs this year?
Man, the Knicks is playing great. The Knicks are playing great.
The Garden is popping. The Garden is popping. Yeah.
Julius Randle, I knew he was nice. I ain't see this, man. He stepped up, bro. He stepped up. I think Tom Thibodeau should get coach of the year for sure. Like he should get coach of the year. The job he's done with the Knicks. Like they're like 7-8 games over 500 right now. Who would have ever with that roster they got? Who would have ever thought that?
I mean, they hit on their draft picks. I mean, Emmanuel Quigley's. I mean, he's nice.
Yeah,
he got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's nice, and they got what's
finally
his
they did.
And my man from Duke. I mean, I'm saying he's balling this year. I mean, I'm saying he's averaging 14.
Who?
My guy from Duke. The number 2 pick.
He played with Zion. But
RJ Barrett.
RJ, yep. But Julius, man, he stepped it up, man.
And D Rose has got a little resurgence. I mean, he got some young legs in him right now, leading that team as a vet.
Tom, listen, they gotta start putting respect on that man's name, man.
For real.
They have, because everywhere that he goes to, like his team plays for him. You know what I mean? Like when he has a good, decent amount, I don't know what happened when he was with the Timberwolves. I mean, when you have cats like Wiggins that doesn't want to play your number 1 pick. I don't know what's wrong with Cat, but he had talent there, but was
nice. Cat's nice. Yes.
No,
Cat. You gotta stop with the Cat slander.
When Tibbs was over there, he wasn't playing as.
I mean, Tibbs is known for running cats into the ground.
Yeah, he is. I think if you ain't a guy who loves to play basketball, you can't play for him.
Right.
You gotta love being in the gym all the time. I feel like he's just one of those guys. He's in the gym all the time. He, every little detail, he on it. You know what I mean? So if you're not one of those guys, it ain't gonna work. So I think he has, and a good thing about it is he has young guys who don't. I don't want to say they don't know any better, but that's all they know is going out and hooping and playing hard. He don't got no big name veterans that's like, nah, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I think everybody in the mode of still trying to prove themselves, and that's where he thrives at is on teams like that who's going to execute the way he want them to, and you see it right now.
I mean, because Cat, like he's, I don't think Cat likes basketball. Like I don't think he really. I don't think he loves it.
Man, talk your shit, P. Talk your shit.
Hey, I
don't think Cat loves basketball, and I don't think Wiggins love basketball. And when you have,
I can see Wiggins not loving. I can see that. I can see.
But Jimmy Butler was over there. He was like, "What are you cats doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have all this talent in this room, and you guys are not winning." You know what I mean? And listen, and that's why Tibbs had to go, because it was like you said, Cat's a big name. So we're not gonna get rid of Cat because we think he's our franchise player. We're gonna bank on him. Tibbs, you have to go. And now look what he's doing right now, and look at the Timberwolves.
Yeah, he got a raw deal with the Timberwolves. He definitely got a raw deal. That wasn't so much his fault. I don't think that was more a player. But in the NBA, it's a players' league, so the coach is going to get fired before the player gets moved every time, no matter who you are. So it is what it is.
That's lit. Kev, man, I mean, we're not going to keep you too much longer, man. Just a few more minutes, but I mean, we got to know before we, in the episode, man. I know you mentioned to us that Tom Brady was your favorite player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so how did you become a Tom Brady fan? And then how do you feel about him winning his 7th championship? Yeah, I mean, leaving New England, I'm saying to go down in Tampa. How you feel about that?
Man, so how I became a Tom Brady fan. My first time, like I told you, my brother played football, but I never paid attention to football like that. So my first time, like really sitting down watching a football game was the 2000. I think it was 2007. And I think that was the undefeated team until they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the first time I
saw too, Randy, West, they had a young Gronk, they had a Hernandez.
They had a squad, bro. Wes Welker, they had a squad. So like when I first seen him play, I was like, yo, this is literally the first person I've seen play, and he was on one. I think I can't 3-4 touchdowns, and I'm like, yo, this dude nice. Like I'm following him. I didn't know who Tom Brady was, and everybody's like, yeah, you're bandwagon this and that. I'm like, yo, at the time, I did not know who Tom Brady was. I just know that he was nice, and I was like, yo, this is my favorite player right here. So throughout the years, I just became a New England fan. So before I was a Tom Brady fan. Now I became a New England fan over the years. So
you had the 12 jersey.
I didn't have the jersey. I just support. I was into it, but I wasn't into it like that. I just started getting into football where I'm like checking the scores all the time and fantasy football. I just started doing that the last couple of years.
Yeah, man. Send me the link. I mean, fantasy football next year. Send me the link, bro.
Oh, word.
I mean,
you got a league.
I'm about that.
I can't lie. I suck though. I suck though.
I'm one of the greatest GMs ever.
Oh, word.
One of the greatest GMs ever, bro.
He lying, Patrick.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get into. I haven't.
I got about 4 rings right now. I'm sitting on 4.
You probably got the cheat code. I don't know. No one has.
I'm out here. But
that's a bet. Yeah, but so when he made the transition to Tampa Bay this past season, I mean, I kind of didn't feel any way about it. I just felt it was time for him to leave New England. You're in a situation for so long.
Right.
Sometimes you just need a new scenario, a new spot. And I think he's rejuvenated now.
Yeah.
Being around a new culture, it's less strict, it's more open. He gets to be more of himself, and you could see that, like, dude tweeting, talking shit, like, you ain't never seen this.
He in his bag. He is in his bag
heavy. Him and Gronk always like that. But he in his bag. Tom Brady in his bag.
Is hilarious. It's like, yo, we're like, why are you trolling us like this, fam? Like, what are you doing, bro? Go golf. I mean, go sit down. Go golf, bro.
Exactly. But it's good to see, man.
Yeah,
it's good to see. I like it.
Last thing, man, before we conclude, I think the people gotta know. So we know Tom Brady's your favorite football player. Who's your greatest basketball player ever? Who's your top 5?
Who's my GOAT, or
who's your GOAT? Yep. Yeah. Who's your GOAT and who's your top 5?
Jordan is my GOAT. Like that. Okay. That's never going nowhere. Jordan is the GOAT. He changed so many things. Like Jordan is the GOAT of all time to me.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Who you got? It's on wax.
It's always hard for me to make a top 5 because I mean basketball is still going, so it's going to change every year. But as of right now, top 5 currently or ever?
Ever. Long term.
I'm gonna go. All right, so I'm gonna go by position.
Yeah.
So best point guard ever, Magic Johnson. Best shooting guard ever. MJ a shooting guard? Is MJ a shooting guard?
Yep. I was just watching Last Dance yesterday.
MJ. Best 3. I got it.
It ain't that hard.
I got to give it to Bron. All right, okay.
It ain't that hard.
Give it to Bron.
Yeah.
I give it to Bron. He got it. Best power forward, I'm gonna have to go with Tim Duncan over KG.
Whoa.
I got it. And KG, that's my guy.
That's your dog. Yeah, I mean, that's on wax. That's like 30 minutes ago. How you flip?
How
you flip, bro?
Listen, I'm no matter if you know what when we talking about keep a strong circle, I'm gonna keep us. I can't tell you. I gotta be real. He got the rings. He got the most overall achievements. I gotta give it to TD.
He's solid.
I gotta give it to TD.
You can't go wrong with either. But I'm just surprised that you chose Tim Duncan over KG.
I'm going with my head, not my heart. If I'm going with my heart, I'm going KG, the best player ever. KG. If I'm going like that, but
and I agree with you because anyone and this is my reason why I agree with you on the Tim Duncan joint is because anyone that's able to win a ring competitively at the highest level against Prime Shaq deserves my respect.
Whew.
Prime Shaq. Let's not let the people forget he won 2 rings while Prime Shaq was, at the finals with him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
and that's a fact. And at the same time, like he made his own lane, and why like he never changed. He was always the same. He was always even killed. He was always poised. I don't know if he was always like that, even in college, or if San Antonio made him like that, the system, whatever. But he was never. It never felt like he was distracted or upset with anything. Like you couldn't tell if he was You couldn't tell if he was up 30 or down 30. Like he just was going to keep that same level. And As far as center, the obvious pick is Shaq. Well, I'm not gonna go with the obvious.
Nah, it ain't that obvious. It ain't that obvious.
I'm gonna go with Kareem.
Okay, you can't you can't really. I mean, you can't argue with that.
I'm going with Kareem.
You can't argue that.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go.
P, who you got? Who's your 5?
My five. I'm gonna start off point guard. Point guard. I'm gonna need a guy that's gonna pass the ball around. So I'm gonna go with J Kidd. And now listen. I'm going with my heart on this one.
Okay.
I'm going with my heart. I'm going with Allen Iverson. As my 2. I'm going with my heart. That's my all-time favorite player. 3. I'm a stay Bron. KG.
You gotta put a smile on your face when you say that.
I'm gonna go KG. And center. Like I'm not gonna go Mr. Obvious on this one. I'm gonna go the Admiral. I'm gonna go David Robinson.
Oh, y'all trying to play basketball. You're trying to play the
right way. You're trying to play the right way.
This is a difference.
I'm gonna need defense. I'm gonna need
go ahead. Do you think?
I'm gonna need defense.
Wait. Okay, so hold on. So when we say top 5, are we building a team or
no? Just your top 5. Your top 5. Right.
Okay,
My top 5. I'm waxing y'all. I'm waxing y'all off. Rip. Y'all not even in the game. Not even in the game. Come on. Right. Iverson, MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Shaq. Y'all not in the game. It's just going down.
Iverson as a point guard?
Yeah.
So who else gonna get the ball?
James. No. LeBron James is my point guard. LeBron James is my point guard.
Okay.
Come on now. I'm trying to win the game. I'm trying to win the championship. I'm not here to play basketball. I mean, I'm trying to win the championship. We up and down. Who can stop me?
Who's the leader of the team, though? Who's the leader of the team?
There's no leader. There's one leader. There's one.
There's no leader of that team.
Who's one?
Who?
MJ. There's one. There is no
basketball. I'm letting you know that right now.
Oh, then that's fine. Just know whenever it leaves his hands, it's still going in.
Who's taking the final shot?
Huh?
Who's taking the final shot?
MJ.
Oh, you said that pretty.
MJ.
You said that pretty quick.
I don't think Kobe's gonna have that.
What are you talking about? These guys love hooping. They Kobe sat and said it. He's like, "Yo, you don't get me without him. He produced this. He's getting the last shot." LeBron said the same thing. You don't get me.
I would say that guy.
He's getting the last shot. What they learned, how they became to love the game of basketball is from that man. And he's taking the last shot.
I would say the same thing too, bro.
He's taking the last shot. Come on. Iverson to tell you his favorite player, Michael Jordan. He's taking the shot, bro. And none of them mad about it.
At the same time, I like any one of those guys. Who is your center?
Shaq.
Okay. I like one of those guys taking the last shot except for Shaq or LeBron.
Yeah.
I'll go with anybody taking that last shot besides Shaq.
now LeBron got the Jimmy now. It's come a long way.
LeBron got
the Jimmy now. He got the old man Jimmy. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Stop it.
Don't do that.
Come on, Kev.
Don't do that.
Come on, Kev. Come on, Kev.
Don't do that.
Come on, Kev. Let's tell the truth.
LeBron is
tell the truth, Kev.
A streaky shooter at best.
I know you're in a different time zone, bro. But let's tell the truth. Let the airwaves know you're talking the truth right now.
Listen. LeBron is a streaky shooter at best. If he's hot, he's hot. If he's not, he might as well be Shaq.
Whoa,
I said it. Yep, I said it.
He's talking shit.
I said it.
LeBron.
I said it.
LeBron.
I said it on your podcast. I said
LBJ on the Talking Shit Sports podcast. We need you to pull up, bro.
I said it.
We need you to pull up and defend Akron. That's what we need to do. Come defend Akron, bro.
No offense, because I still need to go back out to Ohio once in a while. So no offense. I still need to go back out there.
My man's an ex-Cavalier. You guys wore the same jersey. You know what I mean? Come on, holla at my man Kev, man. But Kev, man, thank you so much, man. We thank you for your time, bro, your energy, man. We thank you. Like you're amazing. Yeah, I mean, your amazing sports journey, bro, from just Mount Vernon to Japan. I mean, not too many young Black men get to do that, man. So salute to you. Salute to all the coaches, all the programs, teams. Yeah, I mean, all the people that really took a chance and really invested in your I mean, in your athletic, journey, man, we salute all of them because we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for our loved ones, man. So we give them, their flowers. And we salute, man. P, man. I mean, before we go get started, so Kev, that's what we always do, man. P always gives us his what the fuck moment of the week, in the sports world. So P, what you got, man?
Oh man, that boy Tatum going for 60, man. I was watching that game, man. I was like, damn, they was down. What, it was 35, 37. I'm like, let me change the channel. I looked at my ESPN alert. There was no overtime. I'm like, oh, hold on. He had 37 when it was down. I looked, the boy was at 56. I was like, oh shit, this boy cooking. Listen, the boy Tatum, he's not nice, man. He's not nice.
Where y'all ranking him right now?
Right now?
Yeah. If you had to give him a number ranking right now, where y'all ranking him?
Are we going by age group or just?
No, we going by a whole NBA.
Whole NBA.
Yep.
7.
You got him top 10. You think Jason Tatum's top 10 in the league right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely.
10 toes.
I say I'm gonna be fair and real. He's probably top 15,
10 toes.
top 20 player.
10 toes down.
I go with I'm more 15 to 20 for me.
Yeah, 15 to 20.
Who you
really?
Oh, hold on.
Who do you have in front of this man?
Hold on. Giannis.
Who do you have in front of this man?
Giannis.
Yep.
LeBron.
Yep.
Dame.
Yep.
Steph.
Yep.
KD.
Yep.
Kawhi.
Yep.
That's 6. That's
right.
You want to keep on going?
You can keep going. Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna put Jaylen Brown over him.
Okay,
thank you. Jaylen Brown having a hell of a season right now, though.
Right. So you're at 6.
Jokic, I'm getting a Joker over him.
Okay.
I'm getting Embiid over him.
Okay.
So that put him out of the top.
That's 8.
But
I got my 7. But
what you just said.
What you just said. All right. You at 8.
All right. Who else? Who else?
You have to prove this.
I'm gonna have to think. I ain't got all the team. I ain't got all the teams in my head right now. That's what I'm saying.
Who putting over?
Let's go East first.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you
gotta do, because it's arguably now you're getting the hot water. Go ahead.
No, I'm not in hot water. I picked. You didn't say no to any of the picks I said.
Yeah, those are 8. But you said 20.
Are we putting Luka over him?
Yes, right now. Yes, we are.
Go ahead. Okay.
9.
Yeah. Okay.
You not putting Luka?
Yeah.
I'm putting Zion over him right now.
Yeah. For sure.
No, I'll put Ingram over him right now.
Who?
I don't know about
I'm not putting Ingram over because I'm putting Zion over Ingram.
We should exit Zion over the podcast right now. You said
you putting
Brandon
Zion over Ingram.
Stop it.
I'm putting Zion over Ingram, so I can't put Ingram in front of Tatum.
Man, we're at 11, and you put Brandon Ingram in the top 12.
I didn't put him in the top 12. I said I'll put him over him right now.
All right.
Cool. I don't think it's hard for me to put Ingram.
It's hard now, right? Right.
It's hard for me to put Ingram 20. In my top 20.
He's not.
My bad. AD.
Who? Okay. Yeah.
AD.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm putting Paul George in my 15 to 22. I'm putting Paul George. Paul George still killing.
I'll give you that. He's 20. I mean, he's not one of my faves, man. I just can't. I mean,
I don't know what David. He has a secret beef with Paul George.
Yeah, man.
Really?
Pete, man. I mean,
James Harden.
13. Jimmy should have been top 10.
You can put Westbrook over him.
No.
Ooh. Westbrook?
No.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal?
Tatum?
Yes. Bradley Beal over Tatum.
Not right now.
He's the second leading scorer in the league. Bradley Beal's the second leading scorer in the league.
No, he's a monster. He's not better than Tatum.
Oh, come on, bro.
Not better than Tatum. He's a monster. He's not better than Tatum.
Be real with yourself, bro.
See, now you the one.
I would be like, what? He's not bad. He's not. He's
not bad. He's the second leading scorer in the league.
But Jason Tatum's a different beast. He's a different monster. He's a different monster. He can do it in the playoffs. Y'all not getting it. He can do it in the playoffs.
Come on, dude. Let's stop.
I mean,
where was he at? Wait, where was he at last season? Last playoffs.
He got blocked by.
He had these niggas on their back, about to win.
My man almost snapped his wrist. He almost snapped his wrist trying to block.
What are you talking about?
Blocking Jason
Tatum in the game. He's the reason why they were there.
That boy.
I mean, against a Jimmy and a Bam.
Nah, we can't. I can't do that.
He's a top 15 player, D.
He 15, 20.
All
15, 20. All right, who you got?
15, 20.
7, like,
Because I can't think of nobody else right now. So that's why I 15, 20.
Oh man, Steph, Kyrie, KD.
Oh yeah, Kyrie.
James,
Kyrie. I'm putting Kyrie over
right.
Jason Tatum.
Right. Come on.
All right, my bad. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Yeah. D Book. Yep.
What about Devin Booker?
Yeah. Don't forget about them.
No.
D Book. Come on, Zion. Let's get it. AD. Yeah, I mean, and then I'm going Tatum. I didn't know.
Over Kawhi.
Yes.
I see.
He's heavy. He looks heavy right now.
This is where
he doesn't look comfortable. I mean,
how do I leave? How do I leave?
Come on, man.
How do I leave this chat?
Show me something.
Show me something. He's a 2-time finals MVP, a 3-time champion. What else he need to show you?
Since like come on.
Since 2 years ago. He just
since he's left
just
Toronto.
won with Toronto.
Now you're in LA now. You're sharing a building with the great one. What? Come on, win a championship.
He's still performing.
You had two chances so far. Win a championship.
He's still performing, bro.
This is second year.
What that mean? You win a championship. Come on, let's go.
LeBron didn't make the playoffs this first year with the Lakers.
Come on, the Lakers was trash.
Wow.
Lakers was trash.
That's not what that got to do with me.
Come on now. Y'all know what it is. Come on now. He's top 10. He's top 10 though. He's 10.
I can't believe you just did that. I can't believe it. Yeah, you are.
I mean, cup down, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. For real.
I'm good because I mean, he needs to show me something. But I mean, we always want to leave the people with a little inspiration, man. So Kev, man, like, is there anything that you want to leave some of the young hoopers coming up now, man?
Well, just like I said earlier in the episode, man, just follow your instincts. Keep a tight circle around you. Keep people around you that's gonna keep you grounded. They're gonna keep it real with you, whether right or wrong. And man, just go out and ball, man. Tomorrow's not promised. Use your gift to try and change the world. You know, whether it be on the court, whether it be off the court, mentoring, helping other guys get there. I think that's the best thing that somebody can do is like pass down the knowledge to help somebody else. And that's what I try to do. And, you know, as much as I can. So I just give that advice to people, man. Just keep on passing it down because you're not going to be the last one. I mean, somebody's going to get it either way. You might as well try to help as many people as you can.
Mm-hmm. Nice. What you got, P?
Oh, that's dope. My quote is never give up on your dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyways. Just keep on grinding, man. Just keep on grinding. Never give up. I mean, if you have a dream and you set goals for yourself, just put your head down and just grind until you get it, man. Just grind until you get it, man, because it'll come.
Yeah, man. Man. So I got good news, man. I want to share with everybody, man. So this is my first year in business school, man. I got 3 A's this year, man. So I'm lit. I'm lit right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm out here trying to really get to it, man, and challenge myself, man. So, yeah, I mean, I just want to give myself some flowers and shit out with the world, man. And so, based off of that, man, like the work is not supposed. What my inspiration is, folks, the work is not supposed to be easy. No. I mean, the journey is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to train you. I mean, it's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to really bring out the best in you, man. And I'm telling you. This academic experience, man, has challenged me, has stretched me, has stressed me, has brought me a lot of like just clear-eyed vision now in terms of like next steps and just really putting the things that are of interest to me like to work, man. So shout out to like I mean, I know we talk about the grind, but it really is, man. But it can be what you want it to be. It doesn't have to be something that really just exhausts you all the time, man. It's really a dope experience, man. When you get to pick your head up sometimes, I mean, realize like where you're at now, I mean, more than where you were back when you started. So always continue to, challenge yourself, man, and keep it pushing, man. But I mean, we thank you so much, Kev, man. And right now, what we want everyone to do is follow us on the IG page. Go subscribe to our YouTube page. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Music, man. And you guys just witnessed another dope episode with a hoop legend. You know what I mean?
Before we go,
Evan
my bad,
Jones.
man. My bad, man. I want to just plug my my podcast as well.
Let's get it
with two other members of my Final Four team called the Final Forecast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast at. Final Forecast, and yeah, we got a lot of dope content on there. So thank y'all for having me once again. I appreciate it, man.
Let's get it. All right, man. P.
Appreciate it, man.